Mark, most of our viewers have never read the Quran, and they don't know really how different it is from the Bible. So fill us in. Give us a comparison here between the Bible and the Quran.
Yes, the Quran, as Muslims believe, considered the holy book of Islam. The size of the Quran, it's exactly like the size of the books of the New Testament. And the book contains 114 chapters.
Which are called surahs.
Which called in Arabic term, Arabic language, surahs.
Okay.
Exactly. And the book is considered, as the Muslims believe, the word of Allah who was revealed directly from Allah to Muhammad through the angel Gabriel.
Okay. Now, how does it differ, though? I mean, an average person, let's say an average Christian, has read the Bible, and he's aware that when you start reading the Bible has lots of stories, and it tells this story and that story, and the relationship with God, the nature of God is taught through stories, but you don't find that in the Quran.
No, actually, the Quran wasn't really organized logically. And when the Quran usually discuss about a specific story, for example, like the story of Abraham, or the story of Joseph, or the story of Moses, you're going to see that these stories, it's in all over the Quran.
All over.
So you
like
have
somebody shot a shotgun. And
exactly, exactly. And the Quran, even when they translate the Quran into English or another foreign non-Arabic language, they just transfer the meaning of the Quran, you see, to the English or another language. But even even you try to study the Quran, learn about the Quran from the English translation, you're going to miss more than 60% or maybe 70% of the real meaning of the Quran.
I find it one of the most difficult books I've ever tried to read in my life because it is so disjointed. It just, there's a sentence here and then the next sentence may not have anything to do with that sentence and the one after it may not have anything to do with it. It's like in American literature we have what's called stream of consciousness writing, where the person just writes whatever pops into his mind, and he may be talking about a carnival here and about going to church there and whatever, and it just has no relationship one to the other. It's very difficult to follow.
Exactly, exactly.
Now, the Quran is supposed to be the words of Allah.
Yes.
The Hadith is another book in the Islamic theology. What is the Hadith?
The Hadith, it's the word of Muhammad. In other words, the Hadith, it means what Muhammad said and what he did. So it's just, what you call it, it's the record of Muhammad.
Okay.
His life, his activity, his word, his action, his teaching, and the Muslim call it Hadith.
So one, the Quran, is supposed to be the words of God.
Yes.
The other are the words of Muhammad.
Hadith, it's the word of the Prophet Muhammad.
And are they considered to be equal or what?
Muslim, they are required to believe in the both books.
Okay.
Muslim, it's not enough to just believe in the Quran and decline or deny the Hadith. According to the Islamic law, if any Muslim going to deny any of the basic teaching of Islam, he will be converted, he will be out of Islam. And Hadith, it's one of the most basics, you see, in Islamic faith.
Okay. Now, another difference between the Quran and the Bible is that the Bible was written by individuals like Moses or Paul in the New Testament, where they sat down, they wrote letters or they wrote histories or whatever. But Muhammad never did really just sit down and write the Quran or write the Hadith, did he? No, he just simply, for example, with the Quran, he was usually in trances and he would make statements and people would write those down.
Exactly.
And all that was compiled later on after his death, wasn't it?
Exactly, yes.
And the Hadith is just statements that were compiled by compilers. It might be statements that wives remembered or friends remembered or whatever, and they just kind of put them all together.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Now, in the Quran, there are a lot of contradictions, as well as in the Hadith, a lot of contradictions.
Yes.
For example, you can find verses in the Quran that talk about loving Jews and Christians.
Yes.
And treating them with respect.
Yes.
Then you can find verses that talk about killing them.
Exactly.
How do you account for these contradictions? Did Allah change his mind?
A Muslim, they justify this contradiction by Arabic term and Muslim and Islamic principle. They call it naskh. Naskh or nask. This principle means that the future verse going to come, it's going to decline or cancel the the previous verse.
Okay, so a later verse
Yes.
would cancel out an earlier verse.
Exactly.
That might contradict with it.
They call it naskh. If you ask them, but why Allah do that? They will say, He do that for the benefit of Muslims and for the benefit of the human being.
For example, I remember you giving an example about alcohol.
Yes.
Give us that example.
Exactly. Like, for example, when Muhammad started to preach about his religion, the people in Arabia at that time, they was alcoholic addicts. They loves alcohol. They cannot live without alcohol. And he finds it's going to be too difficult if he's going to give them a command to stop drinking alcohol and to obey his command. So what he did, he just gave them a halfway command. He said to them, no problem, keep drinking alcohol, but when you're going to come to pray to the mosque, you have to stop drinking alcohol till you finish your prayer, and after you finish the prayer, you can go back and drink alcohol again. So after a while, he came back to them and he said, no, this doesn't work. No alcohol going to be allowed anymore. And another verse came and canceled the previous verse. And Muslims, they become very upset, very angry. But how come? We can't do that. And a later verse says, okay, don't worry. Be patient. Believe in Allah. Believe in His Prophet Muhammad. Believe in His Quranic word. And if you're going to have the ability and you're going to stop drinking alcohol in your life, Allah, He is not going to forget that. He will reward you with a river of alcohol in the paradise the day when He's going to send you to the paradise.
So we go from just drinking alcohol occasionally to not drinking it during prayers to not drinking it at all to you're going to have a river of alcohol in heaven.
Exactly. This is the development of the contradiction, you see, of the teaching of the Quran.
And you find the same in the attitude toward Jews and Christians.
Absolutely.
At the beginning, it was one of respect and honor, and then when they did not accept His revelation, He turned against them and began to argue, you must kill them.
Absolutely. Firstly, it was a development also was taking place in this subject, in His relationship with the Jews and Christians. Firstly, He started to adore Christians and Jews, saying a wonderful thing, people of God, the people who carry His word, the people who protect His word. And later, He said, yes, you are these people. But listen, I am the final prophet, came with a final testament. You have to believe in me. Means He started to debate them and reaching out them. So they refused. They asked Him sign. The Quran says so. Ask Him sign. Give us a sign that we can believe. So, and He cannot give a sign. And he went back to Allah and cried before Allah, help me to perform miracle or to give sign to these people that they can follow me. And Allah became very upset with him and said to him, okay, listen, go back to these Jewish people and these Christian people. Tell them Allah gives you plenty miracles in the Old Testament, and always you rebels and against Him. No more miracles. It is only one way, to submit to Islam, to accept Islam, or to pay the tax. And if you refuse to do so, you will be killed. So it was development also taking place in this, you see, in this contradiction of the teaching of the Quran toward the Christian and the Jews.